Hello there guys, I'm Kaiman and welcome to the second tutorial of HTML video series. In this tutorial I will teaching you HTML attributes and images. Firstly, I want to thank you for all the likes and all the subscribers for the previous video. And secondly, because tomorrow is Christmas, I want to say to you Merry Christmas and wish you all the luck and all you wish to get true. And yeah, now let's get started. Firstly, let's open up the XMPP control panel. Mine is already open up, and let's start Apache server. Okay, after it's done, let's open up NetBeans IDE, and in my case which is open, and let's see our index.php that we had the last tutorial. I will delete everything from here. Okay, delete it, and here I will keep the tutorial title. Okay, so now we are here. Now let's talk about HTML attributes. HTML attributes provided additional information about an element or a tag while also modifying them. Most attributes have a value. The value modifies the attribute. For example, let's create a paragraph. Okay, so p and /p. Okay, the body is taking up my space, so okay, hit enter. So let's create a paragraph. I don't know. This is a paragraph. Okay, and here in the front of the name tag, where the opening tag is, you have to go to the front of the defining tag. In my case, the p, and let's type an attribute. For example, we will type align equal to center. This attribute is to align the text in the center of the page. So now let's save it. Let's go to my local host. Okay, let's go to tutorial, and as you can see, the paragraph is in the center of the page. Okay, now we know how the attribute works. Let's talk about attribute measurement. Let's take for example a horizontal line. So it has a width of 150 pixels. Okay, so this can be done with by using the width attribute. So this is the paragraph. I want to make a horizontal line, so HR and / at the end, and now I want to add an attribute. That attribute is width equal with 150, and put the measurement units like pixel in our case. Okay, so let's see what we created. So it's a horizontal line with a width of 150 pixels. Let's refresh it, and as you can see, we have a pretty much 150 pixel horizontal line. No, it's 150 pixels. I can see it, because if we now change it for, I don't know, let's say 300 pixels, save it and reload the page, as you can see, the line is getting bigger. Okay, so this is the first example. The second example, we can measure this measurement. We can also measure by going with the percentage values. For example, we will get 300 pixels, we will type 50% percent side. Okay, if we save it and see in the we see in the edge for my purpose of this tutorial, you can see that the horizontal line is 50% of the page, and if I'm not wrong, if you resize this, as you can see, the line is getting smaller. So this is also a CSS feature, but I will talk about this when I will start the CSS video series. So as you can see, if I resize, the line is getting smaller. But as you can see, the line from the top, which has 300 pixels, sorry, it cannot be resized. So if I go like this, you cannot go further like this because it's 300 maximum, and also the plus from the line to the end of the page. So yeah, this is for the this is for the attribute measurements, I think. Okay. Now that we know how attributes work and attribute measurements work, let's talk about the align attribute. The align from here, the align from the paragraph. Okay. The align attribute is used to well specify how the text is aligned. So let's make a paragraph. Okay, let's make a paragraph. Let's make a paragraph with a break line between these between two lines of text. So I will type a text. This is the first line here, and with the T capitals. Okay, this is the first line. I will make a horizontal line, so HR and the /. Okay, and after it I will say this is the second line, but let's add a break line, so a BR. Okay, and let's type this is the second line of text, and here also to say here's the first line of text. And now I think we have to close the BR, or no. Let's get rid of this BR. Sorry. Okay, so let's see like that. I don't know why it's giving me a red, which is a little bit strange, but okay. Let's add an attribute on the HR. Let's add some attributes on the HR line. So I will have a horizontal line with a width. So width equal with 40%. Okay, and the alignment to the center. Maybe we have to make a second paragraph, so yeah, that is I think the problem. So /b, okay, and here I will type another p and /b. Yes, now it's correct. Okay, so we have a paragraph, which is the first line of text, a horizontal line which is 40%, and alignment to center. I need to put an eagle and some quotes, because the measurement is the attributes. It's like the attribute name, then the equal sign here, the equal sign, and then open double quotes, give it the value for that name, and after closing the double quotes, and yeah, that's it. So okay, so the first paragraph I want to add an alignment. Align. Sorry, here's not alignment, here's a line. Sorry. So align, which is equal to right, for example. Okay, now let's save it and open up our browser and see the changes. Okay, as you can see, the text, which is the alignment to the right, is to the right. Here's the horizontal line, which is placed in the middle of the page, in the center of the page, but we can also make the right. So if I change the align to right, you can see that the line is aligned to the right side of the page. And here's the second line of text, which is the left positioned text, the default positioned text. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it with attributes, because they're like staying in the front of the name, the opening tag, and put some attributes. This is also called like not CSS. This is also called like positioning elements in our website. So you can understand these attributes as the where is element positioning in our web page. Okay, so yeah. So this is pretty much it for the attributes. And now let's talk about images. So I recommend, if you are using NetBeans IDE, I will recommend firstly to go to the source file, right click and click a new folder and call it images if you make a website, because here in the images folder you will store all the images that you will need. Okay, so now let's put there some images. I will go into my F folder, YouTube photos, and I will put my logo in that images. And as you can see, like this, we can put the image in the folder. So we drag and drop it here. Okay, so as you can see now, the logo youtube.png is in the images folder. Now let's put so let's talk about the image now. So the image tag contains only attributes. Okay, so attributes like you'll see, and does not have a closing tag. Now let's talk about what attributes you can assign to the image tag. So firstly, you have to know the image tag. The image tag is so simple. You have to type img space and /, and that's it. So simple. Okay. So the first attribute is src, which is standing for source, and you can get the image from it. So we type source or src, and we type equal. If you are in the NetBeans, the double quotes is automatically put it there, and we can type the name of the folder, which is images. So we go images. As you can see, it's up here. We can hit enter. After we add a / and then the name of the image followed by the extension. For my case is logo youtube.png. So you have to put that png extension file, because if you don't put it, when you access the website, you cannot see the image, because you don't define the whole name in the coding. Okay. Okay, so now let's save it and see the image. No? Okay, so as you can see, here's the image, but I don't know, it's too big for my website. Okay, for this purpose of this tutorial, is too big, and I want to make a little bit smaller in size. So for that, we can put the width attribute, but we can also add an height attribute. So firstly, let's add width, which is equal to, I don't know, 300 pixels. sorry for that. And now let's add a hive attribute. Oh, so hive attribute with 400, not 4700, okay, pixels. Now let's save it and see the changes made it in our website. As you can see, the image is resized. So also we can make like percentage resizing, like I don't know, 30%. Let's make also this example, 30% with 40%. Let's save it and open up. As you can see, we have 30% with 40%, and if we resize the page, as you can see, also the image is resizing. So this is a very useful trick, to use the percentage, not the pixels. So yeah, that's cool. Now let's add an attribute which is the basics, which is also a base for the image. So the base for image are src, because if you don't have an src, there is no image. So src is coming from source, and you have to have there an alt attribute. So let's talk about the alt attribute. So the alt attribute, we put this attribute in the case of an error loading image, to say what was the image about. Okay, so we will type alt, and inside that alt we will type a text. For example, in my for my purpose of this tutorial, because the image is my logo, is my YouTube logo, I will say YouTube logo, or maybe my YouTube logo. Okay, my YouTube logo, and let's mess up with something from here. For example, let's mess up with this dot. Okay, let's click save, so save it, and here we will refresh the page. As you can see, the image is no longer showing up, but as you can see, here's an image which saying that there is no image, and after is a text which is saying my YouTube logo. So this is the alt function. The alt function is a text which is saying what was the image about in case of an error loading image. Okay, so the last attribute for our image is the let's put our dot here, is the border attribute. Okay, so if we type border, okay, and type an equal of I don't know, let's put a 3px border, save it and see in our browser. As you can see, we have a border of 3 pixels all around the image. So yeah, that's cool, isn't it? Okay, also you can align this to the center, I think. Let's say align center. Okay, let's save it and refresh it, but because it's a HTML document, I think you cannot, because the align attribute in the HTML5, it's not an attribute for image, so if you type there, it's giving you like an error and nothing will happen. So you have to do that in the CSS thing. Okay. So I think that's pretty much it. I talked about attributes, and I talked about inserting an image. So I don't want to make this tutorial so long. I think it's long. It's 20 minutes long, and I don't want to make like the last tutorial. Okay, so I think that is for today. So I want to put you a question. What do you think? What do you think about this tutorial? Yes, what do you think about this tutorial? I want to let me a comment down below and say it. Okay? And please also don't forget to subscribe and like the video, because it means for me that you appreciate me so much. And also don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Twitter pages, which are linked in the description down below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next tutorial. And I will say it again, Merry Christmas. So bye.
Hello, haters, damn y'all mad. 30K on the caddy, now how backpack rap is that?